Hey everybody, it's Sharmel. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another episode of Becoming. And this series is just me documenting and talking about different tools and resources that I have incorporated into my life to help me along my journey, help me to navigate my journey of becoming the best me as possible, while also offering you guys tools and resources that will help you become the best version of you. And so in my last Becoming video, I talked about 7 lifestyle changes that helped elevate my life. And in that video, one of the things I mentioned was developing a proper nighttime routine. And in that video, I said that I would do a separate video dedicated in talking about how to develop a nighttime routine that will help improve your life that doesn't involve a 12-step skincare routine. So with all that being said, let's get right into today's video.
The sun shines on all of my glory. My flaws don't look so bad at all. What was I so afraid of?
So a lot of times when you see nighttime routines discussed, especially within this social media space, sometimes they can be like very superficial or basically kind of focused around like the physical self-care aspect of a nighttime routine. And I'm not saying that those things don't matter, but creating a nighttime routine is more than just the performative part of it. So getting proper rest is essential in how we function in our day-to-day lives. It's an essential function of the human experience, period. When we sleep, that is when our body restores itself. That's when our body replenishes what it needs. Even if you are getting the recommended amount of hours of rest every night, the amount of hours you sleep doesn't necessarily mean that you're getting quality rest, because there's more that goes into it than just closing your eyes at night. And so as I go through like my different points in this video, I'm talking about what's going to help you actually get those quality hours of rest, right? I know for a period of time in my life, like I would go to bed every night, I would get the recommended hours of sleep, but I was still waking up in the morning and not functioning to my best ability. And a big part of it is because I wasn't getting quality rest at night. So the first step into developing a nighttime routine that will help you get quality rest is make bedtime an experience. Many of us are very unintentional when it comes to sleep and rest. It is a very like mundane task in our day. In this rat race of a society, a lot of the times we're conditioned to just keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. And so when it comes to resting, when it comes to sleep, yeah, we just kind of do it, but we are not actually getting like the restorative functions out of it because we treat it so insignificantly. And so you have to make just bedtime an everyday experience, right? You want to prepare for bed very intentionally. You have to kind of switch your perspective and understand that one, rest is important, right? But it's also something very special. It is a very significant role in our day-to-day lives. And so yes, my first piece of advice is to shift your mindset and start making bedtime an entire experience. And so the second thing to consider when developing your nighttime routine is that you have to remember that your actual nighttime routine starts way before you actually get in the bed to go to sleep. It starts way before your body even gets tired. And so one thing that I am keen about every day when I wake up in the morning and when I get out of the bed is making up my bed. And kind of going back to making bedtime an experience, it's just something about getting in a bed that's freshly neat, and it feels like it's just made just for me, opposed to getting in a bed that has messy sheets and bedding, and it just feels like you're jumping into the day before's nonsense, right? But when you start off with a clean slate, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it feels like it was something special, right? Again, the experience of bedtime, you want it to feel special because it is special. Another thing that goes into your nighttime routine beginning before you actually get sleepy is eating dinner at least 2 hours before you go to bed. And I know sometimes this can be hard for people depending on your schedules and things that you have going on. I know realistically some people you get home just in time to make some dinner before you go to bed. But if you have the time, I do recommend scheduling your dinner a little earlier in the evening or as early as possible. As someone who struggles with digestive issues, I notice that what I eat and the time I eat plays a huge role in the quality of sleep I get. Like if I eat something super heavy, or I eat and I don't allow time for my food to digest before I actually go to bed, I notice that when I wake up in the morning, I may feel very lethargic. I feel very sluggish, kind of weighed down. I also try to make sure I'm sitting up in that 2-hour window. I'm not like lounging around and doing all those things. And again, it's hard. It's a process. Depending on you, your life, the things that you struggle with, they won't necessarily be fixed immediately. But it's important that we start getting aware of the little things that disrupt our sleep at night. And for me, I noticed that one of those things was my digestive system. I also noticed that if I eat like sweets or certain things too close to bedtime, y'all, I be having crazy dreams. And once I have a crazy dream, like it's hard for me to go back to sleep. In general, I am a very light sleeper, so the smallest thing can like disrupt my sleep. I already got a little bit of anxiety, so I can't be having crazy dreams mixed with anxiety, because I ain't gonna never sleep after that. My next piece of advice would be to create boundaries for your bedroom. Ideally, you want your body to associate your bed and your bedroom with rest, so that when it goes in there, it knows that, okay, we're gearing up to the process of going to bed and going to sleep. So I am very strict about like no lounging in the bed, like no eating and drinking in the bed. I do not do that. Working, I don't bring my laptop in my bedroom in general. I'm not gonna say I've never worked out of my bed before, but in general, I don't like to make a habit of working in my bed. I'm at a point in my life where my bedroom is strictly reserved for sleeping and like getting dressed or getting ready in the morning or something like that. But other than that, I go to bed in the morning, and when I wake up, I make up my bed and I leave my bedroom. And this was very important and big for me, because throughout my 20s, I either lived with roommates or family. And so a lot of the times when you live with other people, depending on the layout, depending on the space, depending on the dynamic of the people you live with, I know in my case, my bedroom kind of became like an all-inclusive space, because it was the only space that was dedicated just for me. Not only was I sleeping in my room, but I would also eat in my room sometimes, right? If I had company, I would host and have guests in my room. During the pandemic, when I transitioned to remote working, I was now also working in my room. And so my room just became just like this all-inclusive space. And like I mentioned before, you want your body to associate your bedroom with sleep. And so now that I don't live in those type of environments anymore, I am very strict about creating boundaries for my bedroom. I don't like kids in my bedroom like that. I don't like people in my bedroom, period. Because when I go to my bedroom, that means that I'm getting ready for bed, and my room is reserved. It's like a special haven for me that's reserved just for it's reserved for rest, right? And again, when we think about rest, when we think about sleep, it's restorative. So if I'm going into a place where it's supposed to replenish and restore and rejuvenate me so that I can function and operate properly throughout the day, then I treat it as such, and I don't allow any and everything in there. I don't want a mixture of different emotions and energies in a place where I'm going to restore my body. And I know we all have different like life circumstances. Like I said, I used to live with roommates and family, so I get it. So if you are someone where you are living with other people, what I would recommend is to keep your bedroom as organized as possible. You can still create those boundaries, so no eating or drinking in the bed. Try not to lounge in your bed. If you have at least a chair or something that you can kind of sit up in so you're not laying around in your bed all day, I would recommend that. If you have the space to get a desk, say you work from home or you're a student, if you have the space to get a desk so when it's time to work, you can actually sit at your desk and work and you're not in your bed. And so yes, my third piece of advice is to create boundaries around your room and keep it as organized as possible. And so this next step is what I would consider like the wind down process, and I feel like this is going to look different person to person, but essentially you want to create a routine that mentally and physically prepares your body for bed. And so this is usually the step that comes in when you see like different nighttime routine videos of people just going through their different little rituals that they like to do before bed. And these are just a few little things that I would recommend when you're actually developing like this wind down routine. So the first thing I kind of touched on already, but eat dinner early, right? Eat dinner early enough to give your body time to digest your food before actually going to lay down to get in the bed. Another thing that I would recommend is stop working by a certain time. Whether you work full-time from home, whether you go work a 9 to 5 and then come home to work on your side gig, whether you're like a full-time entrepreneur or content creator, regardless of what kind of work you do, you want to create like a cutoff time for your work. You shouldn't be working yourself dead tired and then you just fall asleep, fall into bed, whatever. So start creating parameters around how you work, your cutoff time for work, and this is essential to just creating like just good work-life balance in general. The next thing I would recommend, and this is something I'm still struggling with, but phones in the bed, y'all. Electronics in the bed. I want to get to the point where I can get in the bed and I don't get on my phone. Yeah, I'm still working on it. There's sometimes where I'll get in the bed and I'll just put my phone on the charger on my nightstand. Trying to minimize your electronic time before you get in the bed. You want to start creating just like this detachment process. Again, you're going into your restorative mode and you want to start unplugging certain things. I'm really trying to get to a space where I'm just very present in my wind down time, and I'm very present when I'm preparing myself to go to bed. The next thing I would recommend, y'all, a nice hot shower before bed always does wonders. I personally feel like you just wash away the day. It's very relaxing. It starts to relax the body. Your hygiene routine of choice, we're not gonna get into all the nitty gritty of that because everybody do what they want to do, and if you have a 12-step skincare routine, this is the time that you do it. Again, a hygiene routine of your choice that makes you feel good, that helps you feel relaxed. I also recommend investing in some nice pajama sets. They don't have to be like over the top cute or anything like that unless you want them to, but an actual pajama set, right? Something that matches, something that's very intentional, opposed to throwing on just an old t-shirt. I'm not gonna lie, I still will throw on a t-shirt every now and then, but again, going back to making bedtime an experience, these little things, they may seem minor, but they actually help improve your quality of sleep. They make you feel good, and I feel like if you go to bed feeling good, if you already approach nighttime and bedtime with a good perspective, chances are you're going to get restored with the things that you need during that period of rest. As someone who works from home, you know, I'm in loungewear 90% of the time, right? But even though I'm in loungewear, I still have like daytime loungewear, and then I have my sets for bed, because again, you want to have things that your body associates with rest. Like I mentioned before, I'm a super light sleeper, and I have developed like this anxiety over the last few years. So another thing that has helped me in my wind down process is implementing like teas and herbs. So before bed, I'll either do just like a calming tea. Y'all also have some other herbs that I got from my herbalist that kind of help with my sleep and anxiety. And so especially if I had like a really long day or a really stressful day, I will make sure that I either make me a cup of tea before bed, or I'll take a few drops of my tincture before bed, just to kind of help influence like my body winding down, relieving my body of any tension and stress or anything like that. And then the last thing that I have worked on in my like wind down process and sleeping at night is no sleeping with the TV on. And this one is hard for me because I grew up in a household where we slept with the TV on. It's very common, a lot of people do it, and so naturally as I became an adult, I still was sleeping with the TV on. And a lot of experts say that sleeping with the TV on is actually really bad for you. It disrupts your melatonin process or something like that while you're asleep. It also keeps your brain like overactive while you sleep. I know I experienced this a lot when I used to sleep with the TV on. Like something would be playing on the TV, and before you know it, I would be dreaming from those sounds that I hear. In my dreams, I would be visualizing these things. I've also heard like that the blue lighting in TV can sometimes trigger something with your brain. Like overall, sleeping with the TV on is not good for you, and it's something that I've been really working really hard to break. And I will say, I will get in the bed and watch a little TV, but I no longer actually need the TV on for the whole night. And so with this wind down process, essentially, like I said, you're preparing your body to go to bed. And so by the time I actually make it to my bed, by this point in time, my body is pretty relaxed. 9 times out of 10, I'm already tired and close to falling asleep. And so while I do still turn on the TV, like when I first get in bed, I will immediately put it on like a 30-minute sleep timer. And within 30 minutes, y'all, probably within the first 5 to 10 minutes, I'm out. So I haven't reached the point where I can just hop into bed with it dark and just go to sleep. But I am no longer sleeping with the TV on all night. And I feel like it's done such a great job at improving my overall quality of sleep. I feel like I sleep so much better now at nighttime. Also too, when I watch that little 30 minutes of TV before I fall asleep, I also try to watch something kind of lighthearted. I'm not watching anything that's gonna induce my anxiety or have me just thinking and spiraling and just going down just a path. Nothing scary, no crime. Yeah, I have a couple of little shows that are like my happy go-to comfort night TV shows. Again, they're upbeat, they're lighthearted. I can't watch nothing too crazy and then try to go to sleep afterwards. The last piece of advice for developing your nighttime routine is make sure to schedule a moment of gratitude. And this can fall wherever you need it to within your wind down process, but I do recommend at the end of every day that you spend time, you have a moment of, for me, I pray at the end of the night. There's been times where I would journal at the end of the night, but you want to have a moment to not only give thanks, not only to just appreciate your life, but it's also a time to release. Again, I've been saying it this whole video, sleep is supposed to be restorative, and so it's really important for me that I don't take the weight of the world or the weight of the day into my sleep time. So I always make sure to end my day with a prayer. Sometimes I'll do a scripture and a prayer, again, just to, one, give thanks, reverence to God, the creator, the one who even allowed me to be able to go to bed right now. Repent of anything that I may have done wrong for that day. If I'm struggling with anything, give it over to the master, lay it at his feet. I don't want to carry it while I'm going to bed. Ask him to supply me with the resources and things that I need to be able to wake up tomorrow refreshed and rejuvenated to take on the next day. So yeah, I really do think that it's important that you have some moment within your routine to have just some moment of reflection, some moment of gratitude, just to kind of think over what went good, what didn't go good, and ways that you can fix it or just release it and deal with the next day when the next day gets here. But yeah, y'all, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. If there are any topics that you would like for me to discuss, anything that you need advice with, you can let me know down in the comment section, or you can DM me on any of my platforms as Sharmel and Ned. I do have like an Ask Sharmel segment planned. I have some questions already that I plan on answering, but if there's anything that you would like for me to talk about within my Ask Sharmel segment, definitely DM me and let me know, or let me know in the comment section. It could be anything, y'all, and I will do my best to answer it and offer as much advice as I can. But yeah, y'all, that is going to be it. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all of my social media platforms, Sharmel Lynette, and I will see you beautiful people in my next video. Bye.